Real or fake website, part 3, privacy policy and terms of service. Friends, there are two concepts that appear on many websites: privacy policy and terms of service. I do admit that most people do not wake up all excited to read these two terms, but understanding even the basics of them can save lots of stress later on. Legitimate businesses should have privacy policy and terms of service. It's usually at the bottom of the homepage. There are exceptions which I'm going to talk about, and I wanted to print off the internet examples to show you all, but it just didn't come out. Like when I printed one, either it came out all wrong, and another time it just for some reason didn't come out on the printout. The privacy policy is usually about what they do with information. Among other things, it explains how they collect information, let's say information about you or anything that you might tell them, how they store it, how they use it, and who they might share it with. The terms of service is the rules about the websites or the business in general. It's like house rules, what you and the business can or cannot do. Like you may not copy their content, how their payments are processed, what happens if a payment fails, shipping policies, returning policies that may or may not relate to shipping, and what they're not liable for, etc. And I just listed a sample. It can most likely cover many more issues. It's difficult for me to say every business or every company has to have both of those because every country has its own laws. I know that privacy policy is legally required in many countries. Terms of service is not as legally required in as many countries, but even though if it's not legally required, it's usually or very often standard practice for large companies to include them. For example, in Canada, the privacy policy is legally required, and certainly so for a large business. The terms of service, which can also be called the terms and conditions page, is not legally required on the website as far as at this point in time while recording. However, nearly all large businesses provide it. It's considered standard practice and strongly expected of them to do so. So any type of large business, for example, selling something or collecting payments, or a business that provides a service, then that terms of service section is very useful. It defines rules between the business and the customer. It talks about liability. Often it can help prevent disputes, and courts expect it from businesses, and will make the court case much easier. So that's why almost every major Canadian company, such as banks, airlines, large retailers, for example, publish the terms of service, even if it's not strictly legally required. I do have some very important warnings. Sometimes that the privacy policy and terms of service is not on the homepage. I said you usually see it at the bottom of the homepage. Sometimes not only is it not on the homepage, but there's not even a connection or something to click to reach it on the homepage. So you don't even see it, which makes people think, hey, they don't have this policy or terms of service. Meanwhile, they do have it. And also sometimes the layout might be different. I talked about two things you can click on. That's privacy policy and terms of service. Sometimes it might be one option, click here and you'll see both there. Or once you click there, there'll be many things and then an option one or the other. And they might use different names. Just one example, you might see privacy policy and general policy. The general policy covers a number of issues, including terms of service. So it's embedded there but hidden away. So just because you don't immediately see it doesn't mean it's not there. Because a few times I was looking online, I saw major companies just didn't have, so it looks no privacy policy, no terms of service. And I dug around on their website and I did find it. Maybe it should have been more noticeable, but I did find it more buried away. So I'm not saying that if you do not find, let's say it's a big company and you do not find the privacy policy, or you do not find the terms of service, I'm not saying to you, therefore, that shows it's a scam. Maybe it's not a scam, but what I am saying is if you don't find the privacy policy or terms of service, we have to now be very careful and investigate further why they don't have it. So that's really a concern, and to look very, very carefully, because if it's not included, it can very well be a scammer. I'm not saying we know as a fact, but we have to investigate. That's the key. All right. Now, but I've noticed something often in Canada. Many smaller businesses often do not have the privacy policy or terms of service on their website. It happens often. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not here saying they are or they're not breaking the law. I'm not saying for smaller business to leave it out, they're going against what's expected or they're going with what's going expected. In fact, I am not insinuating any legal implications. The only thing I am saying, I've noticed it happens very often. Just as one example, or should I say two examples, there are two restaurants very close to me. I cannot find anything like a privacy policy or terms of service on their website. And as far as I'm concerned, I've been to these two restaurants quite a few times over many years. And I've been very happy every time I've been there. They're certainly not scamming me. They're offering me a very nice service. That's why I keep going back. So what I'm trying to say, if a smaller business does not have privacy policy or terms of service, it definitely does not mean they are a scam. What it means is if you're trying to work out if it's a legitimate or a scam, you've got to find other ways to find out, not by using the privacy policy or terms of service. And friends, the more we understand, the safer we are. I therefore sincerely hope you join me in part 4. With that, please stand by for part 4. Thank you.